Have you ever gone on YouTube and seen a 14-year-old shredding a guitar solo that makes your soul hurt? Or someone who just learned for languages in 6 months while you're still struggling to remember your own zip code? And what's your first thought? Wow, they have so much talent. They were born with it. No, they weren't. Nobody is born knowing how to speak Japanese or code in Python or do a backflip. You are born knowing how to cry, ruin sleep schedules, and generally be a burden. Everything else is a learned skill. But somewhere along the line, we decided that learning is this magical process reserved for child prodigies and people who drink organic matcha, which is a huge problem. Because if you think learning is about talent, you've already given yourself an excuse to fail. If you Google how to learn a skill, you inevitably run into the single most misunderstood concept in human history, the 10,000 hour rule. This idea that you need 10,000 hours of practice to become a master at something. So you sit there and do the math. 10,000 hours. If you practice guitar for an hour a day, that's 27 years. At that point, why even start? You'll be practicing your first power chord while fighting off arthritis. But here's the secret everyone ignores. The 10,000 hour rule is about becoming the top 1% in the entire world. It's for Olympic athletes. It's for chess grandmasters. You don't want to be the best in the world. You just want to play Wonderwall at a campfire so someone finds you mildly attractive. You don't need 10,000 hours. You need 20 hours of focused, deliberate practice will take you from knowing absolutely nothing to being noticeably competent. The problem is, most people never even make it to R2 because of a fun little thing called the frustration barrier. When you first try a new skill, you suck at it. You suck hard. You hit a wrong chord, your code throws an error, you burn the chicken. And your brain, which hates feeling stupid, goes into full panic mode. We look dumb. Abort? Let's go watch TikTok. This is the frustration barrier. The first few hours of anything are designed to make you want to quit. Most people hit this barrier on day 1 and say, well, I guess I'm just not a math person. Or I guess I don't have the cooking gene. There's no cooking gene. You just couldn't handle looking stupid for 45 minutes. If you want to learn anything fast, your first goal has nothing to do with the skill itself. Your first goal is to pre-commit to 20 hours of legally allowing yourself to be the worst person on earth at this thing. Remove the ego. Expect to fail. When you expect to be terrible, being terrible stops being a reason to quit and starts becoming just step 1. Once you accept that you're going to suck, how do you learn? Step 1. Deconstruct the skill. Most skills aren't one big thing. They are a bunch of tiny things stacked together in a trench coat. Take learning guitar. Playing guitar isn't one skill. It's learning how to hold a pick, learning chords, learning strumming patterns, and building calluses on your soft, pathetic fingers so they don't bleed. If you try to learn all of that at once by attempting to play a full song on day 1, your brain short circuits. Instead, you have to break the skill down into its microscopic parts. And here's the magic trick. You only need to learn a tiny fraction of those parts. Consider language. There are roughly 250,000 words in the English language, but you only use about 2,000 of them in your daily life. That's less than 1%. If you want to learn Spanish quickly, you don't memorize the dictionary. You find the 1,000 most common words, and suddenly you can understand 80% of everyday conversations. The same goes for any skill. Find the vital 5% that gives you 95% of the results. Ignore the rest until later. It's not cutting corners, it's called not wasting your life. Step 2. Escape tutorial hell. This is a very modern disease. You want to learn how to edit videos. So you go on YouTube and watch a 4-hour masterclass. Then you watch a video on the top 10 mistakes beginners make. Then you watch a 2-hour podcast interviewing a famous editor. 6 hours have gone by. Your brain feels full of knowledge. You feel incredibly productive. And you haven't made a single cut. This is the illusion of competence. Your brain confuses watching someone else be good at a thing with you being good at a thing. But learning only happens through doing. Reading a book about riding a bicycle does not stop you from Crashing a bicycle into a tree. If you want to learn fast, you have to follow the 10/90ths rule. Spend 10% of your time researching and 90% actually practicing. If you watch a 10-minute tutorial on a coding concept, you immediately need to spend 90 minutes actually writing code. You have to break things. If something isn't broken, you aren't learning. Step 3. Build a brutally fast feedback loop. Practice doesn't make perfect. Practice makes permanent. If you practice a golf swing totally wrong for 100 hours, you haven't become a master golfer. You've just become a master of swinging a club like a confused baseball player. You need a way to know you're doing it wrong the exact second you do it wrong. This is what a feedback loop is. If you're learning coding, the computer gives you immediate feedback by crashing your program. That's a perfect feedback loop. But if you're learning a language, and you just talk to yourself in your room, there's no feedback loop. You could be pronouncing hello as an ancient curse word, and you'd never know. You need a coach, a tutor, an app, a mirror, a recorded video of yourself, or someone on the internet willing to ruthlessly mock your mistakes in the comments. The faster the feedback, the faster the learning. If you do something wrong and don't find out until 2 weeks later, you wasted 2 weeks. Find out into seconds. Step 4. Remove all safety nets. And by safety nets, I mean your phone. The human brain cannot multitask. Seriously, science has proven this repeatedly. When you try to practice piano while checking Instagram every 4 minutes, you aren't learning piano. You're teaching your brain to be anxious. You need 0 distractions. A 45-minute block of pure, uninterrupted focus is worth more than 4 hours of half-focused garbage time. Put your phone in another room. Turn off notifications. Stare at the terrifying void of the task in front of you. And the final piece of the puzzle isn't something you do while awake. It's sleep. When you learn something new, your brain doesn't actually wire it in during practice. It wires it in while you sleep. Pulling an all-nighter to learn something is literally the stupidest thing you can do for your brain. Practice hard, sleep 8 hours, wake up, and suddenly you'll be better at the thing than you were yesterday. It feels like magic, but it's just biology. So stop blaming your lack of talent. Expect the first 20 hours to suck. Break the skill down into tiny, chewable pieces. Spend less time watching tutorials and more time actually failing. Get people to point out your mistakes immediately. And put your damn phone in another room. The world is full of things to learn, and the only thing stopping you is the fact that you've convinced yourself that you can't. Anyway, I'm collecting donations in the form of subscribes to fund the next video.